All right, let's talk about one of the biggest matchups of our time. In one corner, you've got millions of years of evolution packed into the human brain. And in the other, decades of incredible digital engineering in AI. So we're going to dive in and see what truly separates them. And, maybe more importantly, what surprisingly connects them. So here's the big question, right? It's the kind of thing you see in movies and hear about in labs. We've got these two powerhouse systems for making sense of the world. One made of flesh and bone, the other of silicon and code. But do they actually think the same way? Well, the answer isn't as simple as you might think. Because here's the twist, the secret that they both share right from the get-go. Both your brain and the smartest AIs out there are actually built on the exact same fundamental idea, something called a neural network. Yeah, one is made of living cells and the other is just code, but the basic blueprint, it's shockingly similar. So, before we jump into all the wild differences, let's just start there, with this incredible shared foundation that connects them.
So, what is a neural network anyway? Well, whether it's inside your skull or on a server, it's all about connections. You have these simple little nodes, or neurons, and they all link up. And as information flows through, some of those connections get stronger while others get weaker. And that, right there, is the magic of learning. It's all about finding and holding on to patterns.
Okay, let's start with the OG, the original masterpiece, the human brain. And I want you to think of it less like a neat and tidy computer and more like a living wild garden. It can be a little messy, sure, but it's deeply interconnected and it grows and adapts in these really amazing ways. And this is where our biological brain really shines. Think about it. A kid only needs to see a dog a couple of times to know what a dog is forever. That's learning from almost no data. We can dream up entire worlds, write poetry, and mix our gut feelings with cold, hard logic. And the craziest part? Our brain literally rewires itself as we learn. That's called neuroplasticity, and it's incredible.
Now, let's flip the coin and talk about the digital brain. If our mind is that wild garden, then AI is like a vast, flawless library. Every single piece of information is perfectly cataloged, you can access it instantly, and a library can just keep growing forever. It's all about precision, raw scale, and mind-boggling speed.
So here are its superpowers. What we learned from a few examples, an AI needs to see millions. But, and this is a big but, it can chew through those millions in the blink of an eye. It remembers everything perfectly, it never gets tired, and it can spot tiny, subtle patterns in data that a human being would never, ever see. Its strength really is in that sheer brute force computational power.
So, we've got the garden and the library. Two very different things, right? Now let's really dig into where their paths split and see what truly fundamentally separates them.
And when you put them side by side like this, wow, the contrast is stark. Just look at the energy use. We'll get back to that. We learn from intuition. AI needs a mountain of data. Our creativity is tied to emotion and context. AI's creativity is all about remixing patterns it's already seen. And then, of course, there's the big one, consciousness. We have this rich inner world, this feeling of being us. With AI, the lights are on, but nobody's home. At least, not yet. I really want to pause on this number for a second. 20 watts, that's it. That's about the same as a dim little light bulb. Your entire universe of thoughts, memories, and feelings runs on that tiny amount of power. Meanwhile, a big AI model needs the energy of a data center, basically a small town, to do its work. The efficiency gap it's absolutely breathtaking.
So after all this, it's super easy to frame this as a competition, right? Brain versus AI, the ultimate showdown. But you know what? The most exciting future isn't about which one wins. It's about how they can team up. It's about combining the creative genius of the garden with the raw power of the library.
And this is what that incredible partnership looks like. It starts with us. We use our curiosity, our wisdom, our uniquely human spark to ask the right questions. Then we pass the heavy lifting, all that massive data crunching, over to the AI. And finally, when the AI is done, the results come back to us, and we use our creativity and our understanding of the world to make the final important call.
And that really brings us to the core idea, the most important takeaway from all of this. The goal here was never to create a rival for the human mind. The real goal is to build a partner, a powerful tool that can augment our own intelligence, not replace it. Something that lets us tackle problems we never could have dreamed of solving on our own.
So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. When we really figure out how to merge the intuitive, creative, and ridiculously efficient human brain with the logical, scalable, and tireless power of AI, what's the next great barrier we're going to break through? Curing diseases? Exploring distant galaxies? The possibilities are, well, they're pretty much limitless.